I had a little spare time, so I picked up this magazine. Well, actually, it used to be a lot bigger when I was growing up. Now it's like a little leaflet in my newspaper about a project called the Longevity Project. In 1921, in San Francisco, a psychologist named Lewis Terman took a couple of kids out of a classroom to study intellectual leadership. Their name was Patricia and John. Now, 80 years later, they're doing quite well, thank you, and we want to find out why. The health scientists now want to study all 1,500 people that Lewis Terman studied. Why did they live longer? How did they die? What kind of quality of life did they have? Somebody else wrote a book besides John Green? Impossible! There have been some myths that have been discovered that have changed everything. Myth number 1. Marriage leads to a long, happy life. With marriage, for men, the kiss of death is divorce, mainly because it causes them to be separated from people that they love and traditionally out of their usual social circle. Now, with women, it's completely different. Women who are married and divorced have a tendency to do better than men. But now women that are married and then divorced and never remarry live the longest lives of all. Myth number 2, taking it easy adds years to your life. Oddly enough, taking it easy doesn't add any more years to your life. They found out that men and women that have continually successful careers actually live 5 years longer than your average person. And conversely, if you happen to have a long career and you decide to give it all up and say move to a gated golfing community or something and do nothing, it doesn't add any years to your life at all. Myth number 3, you can worry yourself to death. Actually, it's kind of the opposite. They found that people that were conscientious were the ones that lived the longest lives. If you can worry yourself to death, I'd have been dead 30 years ago. Let me see how I can put this. When you're conscientious, you think about being reliable, doing the right thing, taking care of yourself, eating the right foods, exercising regularly, and so it's not as much about being worried or afraid of the future, but it's more to do about being mindful of the things that we really ought to do as responsible people. Myth number 4, more degrees means more years. Having more degrees does not necessarily mean you're going to have a longer life. Now, those that are more educated have a tendency to have a healthier life. I was so uneventful in school, they referred to me as Mr. And you are, as opposed to me, I only get things checked out if they don't work or fall off. Does that make any sense? Myth number 5, outgoing, friendly people thrive. God, I hope this is true. Not necessarily, and for reasons that I really didn't think of. People that have a tendency to want to get along and be more outgoing and to be accepted by everybody have a tendency to take greater risks than other people, which sometimes can lead to not having as long a longevity. The people that do live the longest are people that are optimistic. That's the key. And myth number 6, jocks outlive nerds. According to the survey, if you participate in regular activities when you're young, you're less likely to do it when you're older. The key is to exercise in middle age. I got an old jock, but I don't have any nerds. I'll run a bit, I'll walk a bit, and you know, the idea is to do something every day. That's the idea. I had my doctor, my last checkup in 1994, tell me that I had the body of a 35-year-old. And he knows he was glad to get rid of it. It just goes on and on and on. The secret is you don't look up. Mr. Basset Hound and I have known each other for years. Hey, buddy. He's saying, why aren't you running, wimp? Well, I hope this all makes you feel a little bit better. Who am I kidding? This hasn't made anybody feel better, has it?